Hi, welcome to my channel. In today's class, we'll be talking about coordinate geometry. And of course, last class we discussed about the coordinate geometry where we discussed the distance between 2 points. And in today's lesson, we'll be talking about the midpoint between 2 points. So suppose, last class we discussed these two distances. Let's say, suppose we are having a distance of point, let's say this is point P and this is Q. So now we discuss the distance on how to calculate the distance between these 2 points. And we said this coordinate, point P has a coordinate of x1 and y1, where this is our x1 on the x-axis, and of course this is our y1 on the y-axis. And the coordinate of point Q is denoted by x2 and y2, where this point on the x-axis is x2, and of course this point on the y-axis is point y2. And in today's lesson, we'll be talking about the midpoint between these 2 points, P and Q. So now suppose we have a midpoint. A midpoint, let me say this is point M. This is a midpoint of line PQ. It has a midpoint M. So now this M is given by the coordinate x, y. Let me say this is capital X and capital Y, because of course on the x-axis here I have my capital X, and on the y-axis here I have my capital Y, where this capital Y is less than y2 but greater than y1, and of course this capital X is greater than x1 and less than x2. So if I have a triangle like this, let me say this is point R. This line PR, initially we said is the difference between these 2 points. x2 minus x1 is line PR, right? Line PR. Initially we discussed this in our last class. Line PR we said is the difference between these 2 points, x2 and y1. And of course this point, this line QR, line QR is the difference between these 2 points, y2 and y1. We say it is y2 minus y1 as line QR. And the distance between these 2 points, we denoted by L in our last class, where we find the distance between the point as square root of x2 minus y1 plus y2 minus y1 in the square root. That's the distance between the points. But in today's class, we are looking at the midpoint, this mid-value point M. So now if this is a triangle, suppose this is a triangle, and let me say this is point, let me say this is T, line MT will now be given by what? The difference between these 2 points, right? Difference between this and this will give us the value of line MT will give us the difference between this point M and T, as y minus y1 will give us this line MT. So this is capital Y minus y1 as the point, or the line MT. And of course the difference between these 2 points, PT, line PT now is equal to this point minus this point, meaning capital X minus x1, big X minus x1. That will give us line MT. And if you look at this triangle, suppose we have another triangle here. Let me say this is O. Then this point QO, line QO, is now equal to the difference between this point and this point. This point is x2. This point is capital Y, while this point is y2. So y2 is higher, y minus capital Y, y2 minus big Y. That will give us the difference between these 2 points. That is line QO is y2 minus this Y. And of course the difference between this point, line MO now, line MO will now be equal to the difference between this point and this point, which is x2 minus capital X. So this is x2 minus big X. That will give us line MO. So now looking at these two triangles, this triangle, now considering, let's say, considering triangle MQO, and this triangle also PMT, and triangle PMT. So now if you consider these two triangles, we'll notice that this line is the same thing with this line, because these two triangles are congruent. So now if they are congruent, then this line must be equal to this line, and also this line must also be equal to this line, meaning line PT is equal to line MO, and also line QO is also equal to this line also, MT. Line QO is equal to line MT, and line PT is equal to line MO. So now if they are equal, then I can equate the values. The value of line PT is x minus x1. We say therefore x minus x1 is equal to the value of line MO. Line MO is x2 minus x, x2 minus big X. So from here, I can collect the like terms together. Let me take the big X to crosses the equality. We have x, this is negative. On crossing the equality, it becomes positive. We have plus x is equal to, this is x2. This is minus, on crossing the equality, it becomes plus x1. So now x plus x, I have 2 capital X is equal to x2 plus x1, or x1 plus x2 is still the same thing, because this is addition, and addition is commutative over a set of real numbers. So we are looking for big X. We divide both sides by 2, divide this side by 2, 2 go with 2. So big X is equal to x1 plus x2 all divided by 2. So now this is the first coordinate of the midpoint M. So now the second coordinate, remember we said this line is equal to this line, and the first line PT, which is this minus this, is equal to line MO, and MO is related by this. So now let's take the second one, line QO. They said is also equal to line MT. Therefore, since line QO is also equal to line MT, then what is the value of line Q? Line QO is this point, Y2 minus capital Y is equal to line MT, and line MT is given by this value, capital Y minus Y1, capital Y minus Y1. So from here we can also collect the like terms together. So let this one crosses the equality. I will have Y2, this is negative, on crossing the equality becomes positive, plus Y1 is equal to, I have big Y here, this is minus big Y, on crossing the equality becomes plus big Y. So Y2 plus Y1 is the same thing as Y1 plus Y2 is equal to 2 big Y. So divide both sides by 2 by 2, 2 go with 2. So big Y is equal to Y1 plus Y2 all over 2. So now this is the second coordinate. So now instead of writing the midpoint M as big X comma big Y, I will have my midpoint now. M is equal to, is given by these two coordinates. The first coordinate is x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and the second coordinate is y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So now these are the two coordinates I'll be using to calculate the midpoint of any 2 points. So now let's see an example. Quickly, coordinate of the midpoint joining these 2 points. So now how do we solve this? We use the formula, and we know that the formula to calculate the midpoint, we said the formula calculating midpoint is given by x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and the other coordinate is y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So now these are the two coordinate we have for midpoint. So now to substitute, we just substitute the values of x1 and y1, x2 and also y2. So now this is x1, this is x2. So these are my x values, and this is y1, this is y2. So these are my y values. So simple, we just substitute. This is x1, we have x1, we have x2. This is y1 and this is y2. So now x1 is minus 2, substitute it here. So therefore my midpoint, x1 is minus 2 plus x2 is 4 divided by 2, comma, and then the value of y1 is 3 plus y2 is 4, is 8 divided by 2. So add this, minus 2 plus 4 is of course 2. So we have 2 over 2, comma, 3 plus 8 is 11 over 2. So if we simplify further, we have our coordinate of the midpoint is 2 over 2 is 1, 11 over 2 is a fraction also. So let's leave it as 11 over 2. So now these are the two coordinates we found using the formula to find the coordinate of the midpoint joining the 2 points. So that is it for today, and if you have any question, you can drop it on the comment section. If you visit the channel for the first time, please don't forget to like, subscribe and hit